return this library book, so I wanted to tell you guys about it for my What I Read in February video before I give it back to the library so I have something to show you. So the book is In the Woods. It's by Tana French. And you might remember that I was going to read her sixth book in the Dublin Murder Squad series. You can read them in any order. You don't have to read them in order necessarily, supposedly. I don't know because I only read the last one, but I liked it a lot and I really liked her writing style. And I just, it's kind of like gray. I don't know if you can tell from the lighting, but even though we don't really have real winter in Hawaii, it's kind of like gray and colder than it normally has been, so I wanted to like curl up and read a mystery novel. So I got her first one in the series from the library, In the Woods. And I liked it. I gave it 4 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. My cousin actually commented on my Instagram when she saw I was reading this and said she didn't like the ending. And without giving away anything, I agree that I didn't like that everything wasn't explained in the end. I really wanted there to be a full explanation. The one thing I do still think was good about it though is that in real life, so it made it more realistic, because in real life you don't always get everything explained and some things are just mysteries and it's really unsatisfying. But it kind of made the whole book more realistic and believable even though it's a fiction book. So I still kind of liked it even though I agree that was unsatisfying. I'm not sure if that's what she was talking about, but I assume it is. All the rest of it that we did get to figure out what had happened was a surprise, but also, not too much of a surprise that it was unbelievable. So anyways, I really liked it, and you can tell it's by the same person, but she's really good at writing in the first person and different characters, so I'm definitely going to be checking out the other 4 books in this series. I might take a little break for a little while just because they're really long and involved. If you liked the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, I forget what the series is called, but those books, I think you'll like these. For some reason it reminded me of those books in terms of like the detail and the length and just, the characters, and there's some violence. But anyways, yeah, I recommend this book. So again, I'm just trying to record a bit about each book once I finish the book so that it's fresher in my mind. So sorry for all the changing light, noises, outfits, all of that. This book, Tana French, The Trespasser, is a novel, a mystery. It is actually number 6 in the Dublin Murder Squad series, and I hadn't read any of the other books, but I got this in my Book of the Month box, and I'll link to that video if you're wondering what that is or what that's all about. But it's really great because you get these books, like this is supposed to be $27 for the hardcover, but I got it for, I don't know, however much my Book of the Month thing is, I think like $12, so more than 50% off, which is awesome. But anyways, I really like this book. This one was written from the perspective of a black cop, a woman on the squad, so it was really interesting to have her race and her gender play a part in this book, so I really appreciated that. And the mystery was good, I enjoyed it, and the reviews said like, it was kind of hard to get into, and I do agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like it was just like that the whole way through, and part of that was like the Irish way of speaking, and it's narrated like in her voice, like her first person, so it's not as intense as any book where they're really speaking a dialect or something like that, but still, just some words they use are different, and like is it the cadence, like the rhythm of the way they speak was just like difficult for me. It was really different from how I would speak, so I think that's why it was hard to get into, but the story was really good. And you kind of think when you're reading it, you're like, how are there still like 200 more pages? But there's a lot of twists and turns, nothing like crazy or huge. It's not really a roller coaster type ride, but it's a good, steady, it kind of reminded me more of like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something like that. Really good to like really get into and immerse yourself in. A longer read, over 400 pages I think, let's see. Yeah, about 450 pages, so this book actually inspired me to go get the rest of the books in the series. So if that is any indication, I liked it enough to go back to the beginning and look for book 1. But you can read it in any order, so that's something to note. This month turned out to be really crazy because not only is February the shortest month of the year, and I am in class and working, but I also left for a long weekend to go to Minneapolis for my cousin's wedding. And I'm not sure if you can really tell from this shot, but we moved, and I started a new job. So I had 2.5 weeks of overlap between my old job and my new job where I was working both somehow and going to school. So I didn't really read that much, sadly, this month. So I pretty much only read Tana French, which was by accident. But basically, I read that first book, The Trespasser, and I really liked it. So I went back and got the first book, In the Woods. And then I thought I'll take a break from this series because I don't want to rush it. But I just kept being in the mood to read more of her writing. So I went back to the library and I got The Likeness. And it's the second book in the series. I believe there are 6 books, and like I've said before, they're all written from a different perspective, and this was also really good. And you know, they're all really similar but also different enough. It's not formulaic in any way, and the characters are similar. The people whose perspective you're reading, they're similar, but they're not, like, you can tell that she has enough talent to write them differently. They're similar just because they're all murder detectives, so and they all work in the same squad, so they have some similarities for sure. Yeah, this book kind of, in terms of mood, reminded me of The Girls by Emma Cline. Um, just in terms of like friendship and picking up on a lot of nuance and details and relationships and violence and sort of things gone wrong. Anyways, it's really good and I really liked it. So yeah, besides my textbook for class, I pretty much only read those 3 books. I'm still chipping away at some other books, so I will put those into the video of what I'm reading for March.